Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a jolly non-bingo-y rack, but I've got good scoring tiles and vowels to help get rid of them. Ordinarily, I like to get rid of all of the high-scoring tiles or leave a maximum of one because they're not particularly bingo-y, but that might be difficult with this rack. I'm not seeing anything which gets rid of three of the tiles. Now, great start for opponent, 42 points. And the E duplicates the vowel that I have. And the O doesn't enable any premium tiles to be hit. I don't have a vowel for going next to the J. That would be A or O. Jury is capital J, so not allowed. My Y can go next to the N. Interesting. I could play Y here for 27 points, getting rid of two of the tiles, two of my scoring tiles, and scoring well. I could avoid placing an E next to this triple letter square by playing FI, which would keep EWMR, but I prefer playing this E here because I have F and M which can take advantage of it. So although this is a big X spot, I think I'm slightly more favourite to play in that spot. And wow, I actually have perform and preform, which was a bit unexpected. I thought it might take me a couple of moves to work through this rack. Not seeing anywhere for these bingos. Y only takes an S. Wow, bingo by opponent. And I don't think they provided a spot for my 7-letter bingo. But let me consider what floaters are available. Dithecal takes nothing. First of all, am I sure there's no F for my 7? Y takes nothing. And the only vertical lane is parallel to Y. Yeah, and neither of my bingos plays there. So, what about the floaters? Floating D. No. C. No. A. No. L. No. OW. No. T. No. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything, which is disappointing, but I did set up this spot for my scoring tiles, so what can I do here? E goes after OW and also after NY. So I have F. I'd quite like to play off one more of my scoring tiles. So I've got FOP here, 29 points. I don't think there's anything I can do about the duplicate R. Not seeing anything using the J. Oh well, surely form would be better in this spot. Or from. Yeah, PER is a better rack. Leave goes well with A. And I'm not putting a vowel next to a premium square. I am going with this. So I have pounder, and which may not be good. Unrope, but I think is good. The board remains not helpful. Gosh, did I misperform? No, ENY not good, but POW is. No, I didn't miss a bingo last turn in that spot. From doesn't take anything, but quite a lot of floaters to consider here. 54 for opponent, and again no new 7-letter lanes. I trail now by 100. So where are the floaters? Nothing with the J. How about the D? I've got under on my rack with OP. Not seeing anything. T. No. C. So un is the most likely prefix, ed the most likely suffix. This E is available. C already considered. A. Nope. L. No, not seeing anything there. O-W-N-Y don't look particularly useful. N. No, and I think E and D already considered. Wow, what a shame. But look at this, I have Quap for 45 points, which is pretty good, and a pretty good rack leave, so even if there is a bingo, I feel Quap is going to be fairly close in terms of equity. So I am going with this. Now, slightly vowel heavy, but all bingo-y tiles. What do I have? I have Denarii on my rack, and I've just taken out a spot to play Denarii and QI. I don't think there's anywhere else for Denarii. And I don't think that word has any anagrams. So let me again consider the floaters. Nothing with J. D. No. E. No. C. Acridine. That doesn't fit. I don't think acridine has an anagram. A. Unlikely. L. No. P. Wow, this would be so high probability if there is a bingo here. I don't think Peridian is good. Am I confusing that with something which is? D already considered, E already considered, N. Wow, what a tricky game. And T. No. Gosh, am I missing a bingo here? Pindari is good, ending double E, not IE. Opponent doesn't provide a spot for Denarii. OW, nothing there. O. No. Is there a bingo with the P? That's the tile, or the letter which looks most promising. What might it begin with? 14 minutes on my clock. Just considering initial letters. Nothing. And I'm not even going to try Peridian. It feels too much like a guess. And I've got no scoring tiles. So wow, so annoying to miss out a bingo, to miss out on a bingo with this rack. But I can't see one. And I trail by nearly 100, so I could do with scoring. And I'd certainly like to get rid of the duplicate I. So how can I do that? I don't really want to obstruct bingo lanes. Now there are 2-letter sets where I could have a 9-letter play. What about R and L? Nope, not seeing anything there. So I'd like to play off D and I. I can do that down here, taking out these 2 bingo floaters, which is pretty awful. The opponent can then play in row N, taking out the P, and then the board has no bingo lanes. So what is the answer? I could really do with bingoing right now. I don't think that's going to happen. This D is a bingo floater, even though it's a very lowly lane. The opponent could score highly in column 14, but I'd rather they opened column 15 than I did. Nothing goes in front of K that I've got. Can't see anything ending in U. I could play Rainy. Only 9 points, but what am I going to do that scores more? Not very much. Oh, this is setting up such a super hot spot. DI scores the same. Wow, this is just an impossible position to be in. I have to get rid of an I. Everything else is bingo-y. What is the play? Just so hard. I don't want to trash the rack. $19 points. Again, setting up a super hot X spot. I don't want to do that. I think what I'm going to do is this. India for 15, just opening the board up. I can't survive the board not having bingo lanes. And this definitely provides lanes, and the rack leave is okay. I'm going with this. So I have Aerobus. Does that play anywhere? No, of course not. But do I have an 8 through some of these floaters? Just wondering if Aerobus has Aerobus as an anagram. So what about the P? If the R were an N, I would have subpoena, but the P not likely as a bingo floater. What about the D? Oh, wow, fantastic bingo by opponent. 65 points through the non-bingo EP. Let me turn my attention to the India floaters, since I was expecting opponent to block those. Well, let me just check. Opponent hasn't provided any lanes. Wow, they've provided a 7-letter lane for putting an S on the end of a 7-letter word. But the bingos I've identified, the 7-letter ones, don't take an S back hook. So what about an I? No, 8 minutes on my clock, 40 tiles to come. N. I would have the un prefix, D, no, E, no, R and L. R and L, no, E and A, too many vowels. So, what to do here? OW, no. So I'd like to keep the floaters in India available. I'd like to play off B and U. So is there any way to play B-O-U? And open the board up. What about doing this? I trail massively, 150 points behind. This is getting rid of all of my bad tiles and creating masses of volatility, including a triple-triple. I am going with this. Now, surely my bingo hunt results in a bingo with this rack. So I must have, I have Tyrasses ending in S, so yes, I do have a bingo. Surely opponent's going to block this B. Tyrasses scores face value. What about this D? Diasters, yeah, that gets doubled, so Diasters is available, and Disaster. What else to consider? Well, the D is as good as anything out of IND. I've got Tyrasses. Do I have anything ending in E? Don't think so. Seriates. Does that have an anagram? So what else is there to consider? Well, the B of Bauk, should that remain available. Don't think there is anything through that, let alone a triple-triple. Oh, and it stays available. An opponent burns a blank, which suggests they may well have the second blank, since they've only got 32 points. So this could be a crucial moment. Do I have a bingo through the B? Well, what if I had only a B instead of an S? Do I have a 7-letter play? So that would be an anagram of Arbeits. Well, I'm not seeing one. Just wondering about playing Satirize here to keep open the triple-triple lane, which may be my only route to victory. Yep, I am going with this. Well, I don't have anything through the B. So I need to sort the rack out. I can do that with pub, top left. And interestingly, that also plays in the middle of the left-hand column. So that is my play. 26 tiles in the bag. Let me count the vowels. 10 out of 33. Wow, very vowel dry. In which case I'm happy to play just pub, keeping 3 vowels and an N, especially as the 3 vowels are the 3 best vowels. A, E, I. Now, I'm fairly confident opponent has got the second blank. Do they have a bingo? Quite a few non-bingo-y tiles to come, so they may not. Now, do I really not have a bingo myself with this rack? Well, not through the B. I'm not seeing a 7. What about the O? No. So 13 minutes on opponent's rack, 6 on mine, still 26 tiles to come. I am going to keep open this triple lane if I can. It's also a possibility for a very high scoring Z play, still Z and X to come of the really big tiles. If column 1 remains available, my preference is pub in the middle. That will keep open bingo lanes in column 3, so it won't be closing down the board. Still one S to come. Opponent plays there, 31 points, so I'm minded to play here for 27. Now, retain the best 6 tiles in Scrabble, bar the blank. So I have Retiny on my rack. I have Trainees in column 6. Do I have a triple through the B? Wow. Don't think I do. But does this really not create a bingo? It's retain plus BE. I'm not seeing one. No. So I do have Trainees. That also plays in column 3, and my preference is to play it in column 3, I think. Well, yes, because I can get a much bigger score. EST and FER are both good. Could there be a bingo with the B? Well, you just rely on it popping into your mind. There's not much else you can do. And that hasn't happened. Okay, opponents shut the door on that. But I have Trainee down here for 76. Wow, so opponent did not have the second blank. I trail by 66. I've got both of the big tiles. Baz is only good with 2 Zs. Wow, that hot Z spot has just been shut. Do I have any EZ plays? Wow, it's 5 minutes on my clock. I don't think I do. So I can play Zex bottom left for quite a big score. Only 9 tiles in the bag. And very few bingo lanes. Opponent scores well, doesn't create a new lane. So 4 tiles in the bag. So this is what I'm thinking of. Play Zex for 53, 353. I'll be 50 points behind. I pretty much will need a bingo, but I've got the blank and the D, so I have down in row H as part of a 9-letter play. The D is available as a floater in column 4. Where are the other lanes? Well, column 12 not really available. It would be a 10-letter play there. Well, E and S, massive lanes in columns 5 and 6. So, and Zex surely must attract opponent to playing in the bottom left or blocking it. Because I could play Go in that spot for 40 points. Yeah, and the only way opponent can block that and score well is if they've got the O. I am going with Zex. So, well, I don't draw the O. I do draw the N for down. An opponent has the perfect tiles there. So I think a bingo would still win, or be jolly close. But I've got only 4 minutes to find it, and I think it probably doesn't. Oh, well, it does exist. Mangolds. But that doesn't even get doubled. So what would get doubled is a bingo ending in E. And that still might not be enough, but it would be jolly close. 3 minutes on my clock. Lodge man. Lodge men. This rack plus an E. This rack plus an E. No, so I've got mangolds in column 6. Let me just check what that scores. That's 67, 420. I'll trail by 32. And I'll only get 18, so that's not good enough. Do I have anything beginning down? Down, gloom, not good, I suspect. No. So, what else could be available? AD is not going to score more than mangolds. Column 12 looks like it's bingo-y, but it's not. The D is available, but only if the blank is an S, and then I'd only have one vowel. What about a parallel play in column 4? Well, again, that would require the blank to be an S, or the play to end in O. So I'm not seeing anything better than mangolds. 467. And the final score, 438 to me, 452 for opponent, a winning margin of 14 points, so well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, was there an alternative placement for Zex which didn't give so much back? It was opponents go fast and they played jet on my rack, and I thought about Phi, and I went with Y, and although I could have got 10 more points, I prefer this rack leave, but E9, Reefy, interesting. Reefy may have been a better play because it takes out all these floaters and stops opponent from scoring, and it would have stopped them playing Dithecal 470. Now I've got perform. Phew, I didn't miss the spot. I noticed afterwards that power was good, but ENY isn't. So I play from for 30. Yep, form are available for 4 more points, but I prefer my score and rack leave. Now, great play by opponent, 54 points. And no bingo for me, but I do have quap for 45. So I trail by only a bingo. Opponent plays jerker. Phew, no missed bingo here. Super close, denarii on my rack, nowhere for it. And this was the move I spent forever on, eventually settling on India. K, all of these moves are rack wrecking. And where are they located? K10. Yeah, Raider running over the top of coined. Takes out the E and the D and the N, all of which I regarded as useful bingo-y floaters. So I do like the point sacrifice I made. It was only 11 points, and it created new bingo lanes. Now, absolutely fantastic bingo by opponent, esophagi. And now I'm 150 points behind. No bingo here. Again, I think I have one on my rack, Erebus, but nowhere for it. So I played Bauk, again a massive score sacrifice, but given that I'm 150 points behind. I think that I needed the volatility of a 9 timer to give me hope. Wow, look at this. Opponent burns the blank for 32 points, and they missed C3, Venosity through the N, Vinosity in the same place. And look at this, Esophagitis. What an amazing play, preserving the blank, 57 points. And also Vinosity elsewhere. So plenty of options there. But opponent burns the blank for just 32. Obviously concerned about the bingo floaters E and D. Now, I have a fantastic rack, nothing through the B. And I play Satirize again to create volatility and draw attention away from the B. Opponent plays Tef. Wow, Bapu, that's nice. What do? I play Pub for 27. 9 fewer points, but I'm keeping... Well, I'm only keeping an A. So I probably should have played Bapu even with the vowel drought because of the vowel preponderance on my rack leave. Opponent plays Yogic, shutting the door on the 9 timer, triple. And I have Trainee for 76. So I'm still within reach of opponent. There's still a blank in the wild. Opponent's rack, great spot of Anubas, which is a sticky S. And I've drawn Z, X and the blank. I trail by 100 and there are 4 tiles in the bag. What are my options? M2 Zex, that was my play. Zo, same spot, keeps the X, which is non-bingo-y. B6, interesting. Maybe Zex. B6 is the play. It's only 5 points less than Zex, but doesn't provide the WO possibility. So Zex at B6, 48, 348, I would have trailed by 56. I would have needed a bingo, but there was a floating D, there's the E and the S. So, well, I think it would still have been a tricky task, but I play Zex. Opponent has Woe. And finally, Mangolds and Mouldings score the most, so no victory available. But what an astonishing game. Tremendous play by opponent to move out into something like a 150-point lead, and I managed to claw it back so that there was still hope on the last move, but I couldn't quite get over the line in front and ended up losing by just 14 points. So super exciting stuff. Many congratulations to opponent on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.